A lady called at the end of the last hour saying, for those that just joined us, she said, Alex, you're friends with Jesse Ventura. You're consulting on his TV show. He's a guest on your show. He believes in evolution. What do you believe in? I don't believe in evolution the way it's billed and sold. And I don't believe in the 100-year version of creationism. I am a Christian, but this is not a religious broadcast. I believe in science. And there has been more fraud from the evolution camp. Remember the famous Piltdown man, the jaw of a pig, found in the U.S., and they knowingly lied for 40-something years, saying it was the missing link? And there have been literally hundreds of frauds, more than that, uncountable, in and around evolution. And now top genetic engineers all over the world, there's famous cases of this, have stopped being atheists because they say, look, we've looked at the DNA, we've looked at supposed evolution, something else is happening here. Species just appear instantly, literally overnight. 150 years ago, when Darwin was a big rock star and his theory, evolution of the species, was first put out, and he was a eugenicist, he was really the father of eugenics. They believed that the royals were a greater bloodline. They believed the general public were scum. They believed in social Darwinism, saying, so what if people die in factories? So what if the elite kill the poor? The poor are scum because they genetically didn't get rich and powerful. Therefore, they believe everything is evolutionary, so you deserve to be poor. You deserve to be a slave. That this is part of evolution. So, no, I reject all that. And it's part of this globalist religion. It's just another religion, and they admit that, and the UN now says they're creating a global religion. They've been planning it for 30 years around Gaia worship, around teaching humans that they're bad, so they'll give up their rights and their property. The globalist has nothing to do with the environment. And so I have people on this show, I work with people who I don't totally agree with. This isn't like a cult or something. And so that's my answer there. It is a very complex, sophisticated issue, and the Darwinists decided to try to discredit Christianity by saying evolution discredited the Genesis story. How do I say what 6 days are? How do we say how the Creator makes the planet? I believe in intelligent design. Okay? And so it's become a Christian religious tenet that the earth is only 6,000 years old when the Bible doesn't even really say that. And it's again, it's all a distortion. And it's all a fake fight to make Christianity look stupid. And Christians take the bait, and they go out and then debate all day and say that Adam and Eve were riding dinosaurs and all this other stupid stuff. And see, but then the atheists themselves, they've got their own religion of if anybody that questions how the universe really works and thinks that there's more going on than we even perceive, they really shut down the debate, and they're a group of tyrants. So I don't go off the Scofield Bible and their view of creationism. I don't go off their view of the rapture, which isn't in Revelations the way they say it is. Okay? You know, it says the beast will wage war on the saints and overcome them. How does he do that? They were all teleported up by Scotty. I mean, this is ridiculous. Folks, it's so sophisticated, okay? It's incredibly complex. I mean, you really read Genesis, it's genetic engineering, and if you read Ezekiel, it's like reading science fiction, folks. I don't think a lot of you have actually read that Jewish history. And that's what it is. It's what these people were interpreting, what they were seeing, and what was going on. It's pretty heavy stuff, actually. And what the Babylonians, I mean, have you read what they wrote? It's very similar. Have you read what the Egyptians were saying? There's a lot more going on. But see, I don't get into it because none of it can be confirmed or denied. I got a good idea what's going on. And I believe in the Creator, and I love God. But this is not a religious show where everybody fights with each other and debates this or that. I just put the facts out that I can prove. And I can prove the insurance companies wrote the health care bill. I can prove that it's a scam and a new tax to the insurance companies and to the government and the banks that own the insurance companies. I can prove that the banker bailout was a engineered fraud to loot the public and give the Federal Reserve even more power. and it's on record. They've all gotten record bonuses. I can prove we're going into tyranny away from liberty. And I'm not here to divide people. I'm here to get people thinking on their own and to start questioning the system. You know, it's not so much that the public is stupid as that the public is distracted by the news and entertainment and partying, and the world's a complex place, and the general public's been trained to just accept what's put in front of them instead of questioning. 9 times out of 10, what you're told about something in the mainstream media has no bearing on what's really going on. You know, the headline will say one thing, but then when you actually read the article, the facts are there. They're just spun, or they lie by omission. I mean, it's complex. It takes my entire mental faculty to just be able to even understand it, much less be able to articulate it. And so I just invite you to start looking under the rocks, looking behind the curtain, thinking for yourself. But it has become a false debate. I'm not going to have Baptist preachers telling me their own interpretation of how the world was created from their own distortion. And I'm certainly not going to listen to the globalist and their whole evolutionary system. See, I don't let people put me in a box. I look at the facts. I look at history. I look at the evidence. And obviously, you're not going to have the Sahara Desert, as the old cliche goes, put together a fine Swiss watch. The sands aren't going to fly together to make that. A human cell is 1,000,000 times or more, according to the scientist I've read, complex than a fine Swiss watch. And they've tried in laboratories to make with simple building blocks of life, with simple amino acids. They've tried to make life. They can't do it. Okay? And there is just unbelievable design. And now with the electron microscopes, they're finding what can only be called microplasms, smaller bacteria, smaller viruses living in the viruses, in the bacteria. They zoom in more. They find little creatures living inside those creatures. They zoom in more. They find creatures living inside those creatures. They zoom even more. They find creatures living inside those creatures. They zoom in even more. Inside the cell. You zoom into a cell and you find other creatures living there. You zoom in further. You find more creatures. They have bacterium that can live in radiation. They have bacterium that can live in total zero. What is it? 270-something below zero. Celsius. Absolute zero. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. We are living on a planet, a gorgeous planet, hurtling through space, orbiting a sun. We have no idea what's really going on. It's so big. It's so amazing. But instead, people only care about their fantasy football instead of trying to learn the mysteries and secrets of the universe. And I'll tell you where you start finding out those secrets. It's in the ancient text, like the Bible. Okay, we'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen, with Copenhagen. Stay with us. Jeff in Texas, go ahead.
Yeah, hi, Alex. I think you should be careful. There's a third way between creationism versus evolutionism, and that is also backed up by parts of the New World Order, and that is the starseed conspiracy that somehow aliens came here long ago and inseminated in primitive form.
Well, they're having to switch over to that because the genetic engineers are going in with electron microscopes, and a lot of top scientists are on record saying, I was an atheist, now I'm not. Something designed this.
Yeah, well, I appreciate your show, and I wanted to bring up something that I don't think is getting enough attention in this whole go green climate change fraud, and that's that the EPA is actively starting to close down its 27 research libraries. If you Google or start page EPA library close, you'll find a webpage called the Union of Concerned Scientists, and they have a beautiful summary of what's going on. They've already closed down 5 libraries so far. And it doesn't make any sense that the government cares about the environment if they're shutting down the
Well, look what happened under Homeland Security. That's a great point, and now Obama's expanded it. but started with Bush. Under national security, corporations that are involved in key infrastructure don't have to report and are given immunity towards dumping toxic waste or other environmental problems. No, exactly. This whole fake environmental movement is about not engaging in real environmental action and only engaging in taxation.
Well, I'm going to try and put together a one-pager on it. There's also an NPR interview on it, so I'll try and get that to you. But it's
Why don't you write a blurb? Why don't you write a blurb and send it to writers at Infowars.com? Kurt and others will go over it. If it's good info, we'll post your story.
All right, do that. Thank you. I'll do that. Thank you.
And if you don't see it posted in a day or two, send it again because we missed some of the emails. Anything else, Steve or Jeff?
No, thank you. God bless. Bye-bye.